The content provided in this video and on our website is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended as, and translates to, legal advice, professional instruction, OR management direction. CamWise is not acting as your legal counsel, OR assuming liability for actions taken based on this content. For specific legal interpretations of your association's CC&RS and state laws, always consult a qualified attorney.
Picture this. You're cruising along in your HOA community, paying your regular monthly fees and feeling financially secure. These payments keep the landscaping manicured, the pool clean, and the streetlights on. Then, an official-looking envelope arrives in the mail, a mandatory bill for thousands of dollars, due next month. This is a special assessment. It is a one-time, lump-sum charge legally levied on every single homeowner in the community. To understand why this happens, look at how an HOA actually works. Your standard monthly dues are strictly allocated for ongoing operational costs. They are entirely insufficient for major unbudgeted expenses. Think of the special assessment as the HOA board's emergency override button. A small loop of operational funds handles the day-to-day, but when catastrophe hits, the board pulls this lever, opening a void that drains directly from your pocket. Relying entirely on the predictability of a monthly fee is an economic illusion. Underneath that fixed cost, homeowners are legally exposed to sudden, massive liabilities. So when that bill arrives, you need to perform a forensic audit. We have to investigate the root cause of the assessment to figure out if it's legitimate or the result of mismanagement. The first trigger is the unexpected disaster. Mother Nature does not check the HOA budget before she sends a hurricane, a flood, or a hailstorm that tears down a brick perimeter wall. Even if the community is insured, there is almost always an insurance gap. If the damage exceeds a massive deductible or covers something the policy explicitly ignores, that creates a financial void. The homeowners have to fill that void instantly. The second trigger is the voted-in improvement. Sometimes a community decides they want a brand new playground, a total pool renovation, or a high-tech security gate. Because these luxury capital improvements were never in the operational budget, the board is forced to levy a collective assessment to pay for them. While painful to pay, assessments born from natural disasters or collective community votes share one common trait. They are either mathematically unavoidable or democratically mandated. But there is a third trigger. It is the most common and the most preventable reason for a sudden massive bill: reserve fund neglect. This chart tracks the lifespan of a major community asset, like a $30,000 HVAC unit, against the required growth of an HOA reserve fund. This fund is a mandatory community savings account specifically designed to anticipate the inevitable decay of those assets. As the HVAC system ages, the savings are meant to grow over time to match its exact replacement cost. Notice what happens when the system breaks down. If the board fails to allocate enough dues into this account, the savings flatline. They stop setting aside money while the community infrastructure continues to deteriorate. Then comes the moment of crisis on the timeline. The $30,000 clubhouse HVAC unit finally croaks. The reserve fund is sitting at $500. The board has no choice but to instantly extract the missing funds from the homeowners. A massive shortfall like this stems directly from the board's failure to plan for inevitable asset depreciation. When a reserve failure assessment hits, you are witnessing the forcible transfer of the HOA board's financial mismanagement directly onto your personal balance sheet. You do have defensive options. Every special assessment proposal is bound by the strict legal rules contained in your community's covenants, conditions, and restrictions, commonly known as the CC&Rs. The first defense is the threshold rule. For assessments exceeding a certain dollar amount, say $1,000 per unit, the governing documents often require a supermajority vote of the entire membership. This grants you the power to organize with your neighbors and vote the charge down. If the assessment stems from an empty savings account, you can mount a legal challenge. Homeowners can argue the board breached its fiduciary duty, the legal obligation to responsibly manage and fund the reserves. But the ultimate preventative countermeasure is available to every prospective or current homeowner right now. It's the annual reserve study. This document analyzes the health of the community savings, and a low percent funded score, like 15%, is a blaring alarm. Scrutinizing the reserve study acts as an early warning system. It allows you to predict future special assessments years before a massive bill ever shows up in your mailbox. True financial security in an HOA relies on your willingness to actively investigate reserve health. By doing the math yourself, you transform a potential financial ambush into a measurable, avoidable risk.